So hello children, here we move on to a new chapter called ratio and proportion. So this is, I am going to start exercise 7A from ML Agrawal's book. So this is my introductory lesson where just I'll recapitulate. This you have done in, I think, class 7, maybe in 8. So some basic thing and some new things. So you will see this is basically an introductory lesson which will prepare us for the next few exercises where we will see what type of question comes in ICSE. So I'm not straight away, unlike other video lesson, I start with ICSE question. Here, one or two beginning video lesson, I'll give you the concept. So once you have a firm concept, then you can do any sum. So it's a big exercise. You will see a lot of exercises, lot of things. But ICSE focuses on some major area, which I'll discuss later on, maybe in my part 3 or part 4 of the video lesson. So here we start. Concept ratio is a comparison. You see, it's a fraction. We compare two things. So this is already, you know, same quantity it should be, same kind it should be. You can compare with pen and pencil with pencil. Okay, weight with weight and time should not be compared with weight. So two like quantities we compare, and another thing, it should be in same unit, children. And ratio is a comparison. So if you want to see more and all, class 7, I have made lot of video lesson on this. So if you want to recapitulate the other concept, because this chapter basically is a revision or recapitulation of what you have done in your earlier classes. So if you want to see, I think maybe 3 to 6 video lesson I have put in class 7 for this. So if you want to have good grounding of this, please see that, because if you may or may not have done it nicely in your earlier classes. So I think in class 7 you have a very detailed study of this, and in more detail we are going to do now. So first thing, composition of ratio, some new thing is coming up. That's why, what is compounded ratio? So compounded ratio means, suppose you have two ratios. Then children, in the next part we will have proportion. When two ratios are equal, okay, lot of question we will see in ICSE on proportions. So proportion, when two ratios are equal, A is to B is equal to C is to D. Okay, but this is ratio means one single set of comparison, one single set of fraction. So proportion will come little later, maybe in second part or third part of the lesson. So compounded ratio means A is to B and C is to D is first term with the first term. This is not proportion, children. First term with first term, second term with second term. So I'll show you with example. All this basic thing I'll do two example each now. Duplicate ratio means when a ratio is compounded with itself. Ratio is compounded with itself. A is to B and A is to B. So A square, B, you will get B square. Same thing, a triplicate ratio is when it is done thrice. Okay, so it's A cube and B cube. Next is subduplicate. Duplicate you have square, subduplicate you have root. Triplicate you have cube, subtriplicate we have cube root. This 3 should be small, children. Don't write 3 in 2. Cube root, this 3, see where I have put and what is the size. Last but not the least, reciprocal ratio. So we change, reciprocal means 1 upon, so we see, so A by B, A is to B becomes B is to A. So this is the basic concept of ratio. We will do first few question of exercise 7A. So kindly pause the video, children, and copy. So here I'm trying to do all the question of all the part of question 2. So find the compounded ratio. So compounded, as I have given you the concept, first term with the first term and the second term with the second term. So we get 8 is to 27. So remember, this ratio is not equal to this two. Don't get confused. Compounded ratio is first term with the first term, and second term is to into second term, but this is neither equal to this nor equal to this, so they are not equal ratio, children. So if you have three things, first with first, don't write ratio, first all the first term you multiply is to all the second term you multiply. Okay, so first term, 4, 5, 9, 5, 7 and 11. So what do we get, children? 4 5s are 20, 29s are 180 is 2. Okay, 5 7s are 35 into 11. So if you see this, we can cancel and see what do we get. So better for cancellation, what I would have told you, you can cancel 5 5, but in ratio form I am not cancelling. What I am doing, children, is 4 into 5 into 9. Ratio I write as a fraction, children. Okay, I could have cut 5 5 here, but it's better to write in division form than cancel. And then I doubt anything else will be cancelled here. So finally we write it as a fraction as 36 by 77. So your answer is 36 is to 77. So kindly pause the video and copy. Then we move on to a very interesting question, that is part 3. Okay, so please copy because I need more space for part 3. So now this is a very interesting question if you see. So we will use our idea of expansion from class 9. Okay, so let us write the compounded ratios. I am doing here. So the compounded ratio is, okay, compounded ratio is first term, all the first term you write, and children, I am directly writing it in a fraction form. Okay, all the first term I am writing in a fraction form. Okay, so first with first with first, then down. I could have written ratio and one more step this, but to do it in less possible space. Okay, now this is my all the second term multiplied together. You see, first term with first term with first term, second term with second term and second term. Now let us see what do we have here. A minus B, this I can write as A plus B and A plus B. This, if you see, children, if you do, I'll show you little separately, especially this A4 minus B4. If you know factorization, A square minus B square, so we get A square plus B square. Okay, and A square minus B square. So, and finally this, children, is plus, you have no other factorization, minus is A plus B, A minus B. Okay, so here I will write, so we get A plus B and A minus B. So see, this is important, especially. So see how our idea of expansion and factorization of class 9. So if you are not good at them, please go through them. Okay, I have got video lesson for you on factorization, expansion, almost 6, 7 to 9 video lesson on each. So you should be very good in expansion and factorization over here. Anytime you may require it. Now, so as I told you, A4 minus B4. So I had to repeat lot of times. So it is nothing but this. Remember, this is broken into 3 terms. A plus B, A minus B. Here we have A plus B, A square plus B square, and this, children, is A square minus B square. I'll write twice. Okay, it is 2 times, or Yes. Now see, what can be cancelled? We will cancel. But if you see this, so let us cancel and see. This cancels. This cancels. A square minus b square. Now see here, children. Next step I will not do. Just I will show you. Here this is a minus b and a plus b. So these two term is a square minus b square. This two term, and this I may have written as a square minus b square. Okay, a square minus b square. Okay, and down you have a square minus b square and a square minus b square. So I could have written this as a square minus b square, no problem. So once more I'll show you with my red marker. This we put together. Okay, a plus b, a minus b is a square minus b square, and this is a square minus b square, which I could have written here only this only. Okay, a square plus b square, a square minus b square. So anyway, you can do later, and then you see this cancels, and finally such a big question after cancellation, okay, it becomes 1. So 1 is the compounded ratio of this particular question. So kindly pause the video and copy, then we move on to question 3, 4 and onward. So here we go to see the duplicate ratio. So you write duplicate ratio of 2:3 is, I told you, so you write here duplicate ratio because they are not equal. So you write here, I am not writing in every question, lot of space and time it will take. So this is 4:9. You write 2:3 duplicate ratio, you write duplicate ratio of this. They are not equal, children, they are not equal, remember 2:3 is not same as 4:9. So we square them. So here you write duplicate ratio of this is 5a square is to 6b square. So this will be 25a square is to 36b square. So duplicate means square, as I have given you the concept. Triplicate means write triplicate ratio of this, because don't write equal to. They are not equal to, children. So this is cube, right? Triplicate ratio of this is cube, as I told you. So take the cube of both term, 27 is to 64. Here it is 1:8. Triplicate ratio will be 1 cube again. So don't get confused with cube. Okay, you have to do cube of that again. So this is 1:8. 8s are 64. 8s are. So 64 8s are, you multiply. So this will be 512. Okay. See how? 68s are 480. 8 4s are 32. 32 plus 480. Subduplicate means, children, square root. This was square duplicate, subduplicate square root. So write subduplicate ratio here. 3:4. Okay. Here if you find square root, so write subduplicate ratio of this is, you can write 3 into 3 into a into a. So as you know, by pairing, 7 into 7 into b into b. So answer is, here you can write equal to, because these two are equal to. These two are not equal to. So here you can write 3a is to 7b. Now we move on to the last question over here, which we called subtriplicate, means cube root. Subtriplicate, you write subtriplicate ratio of this is cube root of this and cube root of this. So cube root of this is 1 and cube root of this is 6. 6 6 are 36, 6 are 216. So next one, write subtriplicate ratio of this is 3 into 3 into, so cube root. So I am doing two things here. I am taking as a cube pair of 3 is to, if you see, 64 is 4 into 4 into 4 into b into b into b. So finally we get, children, 3a is to 4b. Okay, so kindly pause the video and copy. So children, we come to the end of this session. Okay, so I have taught what was new and reciprocal ratio also, you see, and some very good solved examples are there. So this exercise 7A is an introductory lesson, children. You have done already, and most of the thing is very easy. This was little new, therefore I have made this video lesson. So do all solved and all unsolved example. Okay, then you will be ready for the next level when we go to 7B, 7C onward. So please do all the solved example, all the unsolved example, and I see in year 2012 one question like question 20, you will see 2012 it came. Okay, 2012 it came, so you can do that number 20. So we have two more exercises, children. 7.1, so this is not a 7.1, 7.2 and 3 are more important for your ICSE. So please do practice all the solved and unsolved example, and thank you children for watching this video session.